I tend to look at Toyota's trademarks nearly every single day, or trademark renewals. It's a lot of fun and it gives me a lot of things to possibly get excited for. And check this out. This site's called Chizai Watch, and they're always posting some interesting discoveries on these trademarks. All right, we had the Land Cruiser Fun. There's also the Land Cruiser FJ somewhere on this page. RZ350E, HZ for Lexus, other HZ ES500E, ES350H. We just got a renewal of all these classic, and I'm just seeing Celica here, as well as Progress or Progress, I don't know, with the accent on the E. So I'm seeing these new trademarks that are going to be tugging at the sentimental heartstrings of many Toyota fans, all right, especially the older ones, because a lot of these nameplates are old. From Trueno to Corona, Carina, Allion, Altezza. Guys, what is happening? We're going to break into what these nameplates represent. Grab your snacks and drinks, buckle in, and prepare to get retro. And why would Toyota renew all these trademarks? Well, I only see it as two things here. In the less than 1% chance they decide to revive any of these nameplates, they're legally able to do that. And two, maybe just to protect their history. That's probably the biggest reason, to protect their history, to preserve it and make sure that no one else gets their hands on any of these classic and historical nameplates. Going to start with Celica. I didn't see this on here. Now, Celica has also been trademarked again in the United States. I think in other parts of I think Australia, Celica, the cat's out of the bag. The Celica is coming back. The MR2 is coming back pretty much. Just hasn't been confirmed. Toyota's been teasing the hell out of us, right? Now, this Toyota Progress, didn't even know this vehicle existed. Oh, okay, you pronounce it Progray. All right, well, how would I know? It was never marketed here. It existed for about 9 years. And it has the same platform as a Lexus IS and the Toyota Mark II. These other Toyotas, maybe I've heard of the Brevis before. So it is, wow, what the heck is that Toyota Origin? And then this, I have never seen this car either. So strange variations on this platform. Like it had the 2JZ in here, big surprise. Going back to the trademarks here. Oh, I see a few more. Toyota Scepter, Toyota Publica. So let's look those up. Well, it looks like the Toyota Scepter was the same thing as the Camry. Let me click on this real quick. The official page here for the Toyota Scepter. American-made Scepter station wagon. So this is the exported Camry to overseas, and it looks like it was called the Scepter. And yeah, long live the wagon, man. Too bad wagons aren't... well, we got a lot of wagon trademarks here that are coming back. Here's a Toyota Publica, ancient looking car from 1961 to 1978, and it was succeeded by the Starlet. Again, the Starlet's supposed to be coming back for the Japanese market. All right, so the Trueno, also known as the Toyota AE86, which is this car right here. This is the initial D special edition of that car. Front engine rear wheel drive, and it was turned into a drifting icon. Toyota Caldina. Well, this replaced the Corona and the Carina, which we'll talk about today. And the Caldina was never officially exported by Toyota. It had all-wheel drive capability. It's a gray import, so third-party companies have exported it from Japan to Australia, New Zealand, Russia, and other South American countries. It was discontinued in 2007, and they made hopped up GT4 versions with all-wheel drive, 5-speed manuals. You had turbos in here. Well, diesels as well, turbo diesels, and the 3S GTE engine, providing 256 horsepower. What's not to like about an all-wheel drive turbocharged Toyota wagon? I mean, this is stuff of legend right here. Next up is Tercel, also known as the Corolla 2 once upon a time, the Corsa, the Toyota Corolla Tercel. Many of you may remember in the late 70s, early 80s. Production was for over 20 years, 78 to 99, and it was replaced by the Toyota Vios Duet and Platts Echo / Yaris. Now, we got the Yaris, right? The Toyota Tercel preceded it. Now, we don't get anything of that size from Toyota anymore, unfortunately. So the crazy thing with the Tercel, it was the first front-wheel drive vehicle from Toyota. Absolutely legendary, right? Now, because of that, this vehicle started their domination worldwide, right? But it was also longitudinally mounted in the first and second generation. That means the engine is pointing straight forward in row in the inline four behind the Toyota badge, I guess you could say. And it was still powering the front wheels, which is very rare. Typically, when you have a longitudinally mounted engine, it's powering the rear wheels, or you have an all-wheel drive transfer case sort of thing. Now, Acura Legend had this sort of layout, front-wheel drive, longitudinally mounted. Pretty cool with the Tercel, but rest in peace, Tercel. And maybe Toyota will bring back. I mean, look, I didn't even know they made a Tercel wagon. Look at this thing. Out of this world. Altezza only lasted one generation. This vehicle was really designed as the Lexus IS, so let's find the Altezza. The Altezza lives on to this day only in the form of the IS, but the IS 300, it was not, so when it came out, Lexus didn't exist in Japan, and so they brought it to the Japanese market, but they called it the Altezza instead of the Lexus IS. Exact same car, obviously right-hand drive. And there were manuals on it, and it had the 2JZ engine. You also had the Altezza Gita, was the same thing as our Sport Cross wagon in the United States. So yeah, it's kind of sad that the IS still doesn't have a wagon, but hey, remember the images Toyota teased us with? You know, they still might bring back the good old Altezza Gita / Sport Cross here on the IS if these vehicles, these incredible designs, ever come down the hatch. Man, that would help Lexus out tremendously if they're able to make cars this capable. I mean, honestly, these cars look like the Porsche of Japan. So hopefully Toyota can bring some liftbacks, the Sport Cross, I should say, back to the IS. The Toyota Allion, also known as the Toyota Premio, and this, of course, was not exported from Japan either, except for New Zealand. So this succeeded the Corona and Carina, but it was succeeded itself by the Corolla in the Japanese market. So it's essentially a Japanese Corolla. Here's another look of the Allion or Allion. Again, not for any other market, so I don't know how you would say it in Japan, but I'm going to say Allion or Allion. It would probably be Allion. Yeah, there you go. Let's keep moving. We have the Auris. Now, this one's a little bit more familiar to our market. We knew this as the Corolla IM or the Scion IM before Scion went defunct, and then then it became the Corolla IM. And they made hybrids of the Auris. And again, I don't know if the manual is ever available in our market. Definitely never got the hybrid of this, but I always adored the design. I didn't know they made an RS Estate, which is kind of like the Corolla sports wagon that is available in other markets. But the RS hybrid, the RS was essentially replaced by the Corolla hatchback that we have in the United States. I mean, the Toyota Matrix, they say, preceded it, which my wife and I had a Toyota Matrix in our early days. Yeah, but essentially nowadays, this vehicle is discontinued in favor just for the standard Corolla lineup for the hatchback and the Corolla wagon. That unfortunately we don't get that Corolla wagon. It was also related to the Lexus CT, which it's not that big of a stretch to imagine that. The Corona also just got renewed. This is one of Toyota's most historic vehicles, and it had a run. Check this out. It had a run from 1957 to 2001. It was marketed as the Carina. We've already talked about the Carina, the Premio, the Avensis, and the Camry. Look at this Mac Daddy 87 Corona VX Coupe. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful car. Corona on the steering wheel. And again, that vehicle's related to the Carina, which again got, and the Celica, which again got revitalized with these trademarks. The Celsior. got revitalized as well with the nameplate, which is the Lexus LS. The Celsior existed for, I would say, what, 3 generations before Lexus came to Japan. You can import them. They're right-hand drive, of course. Oh man, the Toyota Paseo, also known as the Synos, got revitalized too with the trademarks. We did get the Paseo here in the United States. They're few and far between, though. It's always catches my eye when I see one. They even made a convertible version of it. That's got to be pretty desirable out there for some Toyota collectors. It's a cool, tiny coupe. Kind of reminds me of like the Civic Del Sol, for example. Obviously, not the same sort of open top concept like the Soul was, but hey, they made a convertible of it. This was also related to the Tercel, the Starlet, and the Toyota Serra, which there's a Toyota Serra, beautiful car. And by the way, I mean, this is how little I know the Serra. It kind of looks like a Honda Beat, but it has butterfly doors with look at the glass wraparound. I can't imagine what that glass would cost to replace. It's got to be like custom made because you have this cutout window right here, then a window on top of it. What in the world? All the fun cars are gone nowadays, it seems like. Hopefully Toyota can revitalize some of these such unique cars that we saw in the 80s and 90s that had so much character. This was all the Toyota Camry, also known as a Daihatsu Terios, which this thing is kind of like a K car SUV. Super cute. That got renewed. The Toyota Raum, a small minivan, got the go-ahead too. Oh, man, look how unique this is. Look at these rear taillights. I mean, gosh, where are the fun, small, actual minivans nowadays? A true minivan would do so well in my family, but it is what it is, right? Safety regulations have made cars so damn big now that none of these fun cars can exist in our market. So it's not even worth for Toyota to make those cars for the global market. And so all the cool, funky stuff for these Japanese automakers is essentially K cars in Japan, which of course will never make it here unless they're 25 years old and we can legally import them. Toyota Estimo, which is the same thing as the Previa. Toyota just teased recently on their Instagram that the Previa, you know, they're like, do you want the Previa to come back? Which is the mid-engine egg-shaped minivan. I should probably pull it up for you guys. Yes, we never got this generation. We only got the first generation. I saw one yesterday here in Southwest Florida. They are very reliable, super unique. You get them turbo, you get them all-wheel, or actually turbo diesel, you can get them supercharged gasoline. This is sort of van that you would have dreams about, literally, because it's just so foreign compared to today's minivans, where the engine sits underneath the center of the vehicle. The accessories are all up front underneath the hood. Super crazy design. But since it couldn't share its platform with other cars, Toyota killed the Estimo. And this is the Amina edition. Just how fun are these cars? Let's hope Toyota can bring fun cars back again. Now they're trying, right? With the sports cars, the MR2, the Celica, that sort of thing. It's making me upset because like there's no character left in Toyota cars. All right. They're all like commoditized at this point. They've been completely reduced to the most common denominator of appliance and then their design is very unoffensive, I guess you could say, unless you're Lexus with the spindle grille, it's a little bit more offensive. But like all these cars that I'm looking up have so much character. And maybe that's just the way I just have to accept it. Toyota Soarer. I should probably speed this up. I could go through all this. MRS was a 3rd generation MR2. Opa Platts, Porte, I'm sure they're all cool. Deli Boy, I'm curious about that. So I'll look that one up and I'll bring up the Soarer as well. Oh my gosh. The Toyota Deli Boy. What the hell? A front sliding door cargo van. What in the world? I just want to look up images of this. This is such the freakish. I mean, I already talked about how the Estima is a freak show, but this Deli Boy is as freakish as it sounds with a front sliding door. What in the world? And the good old Toyota Soarer. also known as the Lexus SC 300 and 400. It was preceded by the Mark II Coupe, the Chaser Coupe. I'm just like, look at these cool cars. The Crown Coupe and the Carina Coupe. Also succeeded by the SC 430 and the Lexus LC. So this is a predecessor to our modern day Lexus coupes, and it looks from here it looks very Supra of those generations. The 1984 Soarer, well, there you go. It's related to the Supra A60, Celica A60, and Carina A60. Also the Toyota A70 Supra with the second generation. Now we get the third generation, which is the spinoff of the Lexus SC 300 and SC 400. Remember, the Supra Mark IV, the A80 Supra, was alternative to this car on the Toyota end, but that was in the United States. and Japan, they still got this car, the Lexus SC, but it was called the Soarer. So yeah, it's bittersweet to see all these incredible nameplates come back. I cannot believe that the SC430 was actually called the Soarer, because it's nothing like those sports cars of old. Nothing like them. Seeing all these nameplates it's a graveyard of character. Character is sucked out of most Toyota and Lexus. It's in most cars in the world at this point. And that's just the way it is, due to regulations just destroying any sort of art and inspiration, I guess you could say, and unique design. It's all destroyed now by emissions regulations. So cars have to be aerodynamically efficient. It's destroyed by crash safety regulations. So cars have to be big, fat, heavy, and expensive as a result too. So yeah, I mean, we went down memory lane of an alternate reality today of all these Toyota nameplates that have just been renewed. But the likelihood we see any of them return is probably zero. And that's just the way it is. So, well, besides the Celica, which that's, yes, that one's coming back. Almost stake my life on that one almost. But yeah, I'm going to shut it down there. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me for a trip down memory lane of what used to be. Unfortunately, we didn't get many of these cars, but the fact that they existed is still quite incredible. All right, thank you guys. Have a great day, and may we live one day to see cars with character return. Don't get your hopes up though. Peace out.